what is in this book? Because a random man just came up to me on the train to tell me I'm going to bawl my eyes out and I'm not ready for what's going to come and I'm probably going to hate the author by the end of it because she's going to put me through so much. Like, how can it get so bad?
Bücher, die ihr besser nicht lesen solltet, weil die euch zerstören werden. Die Gerüchte stimmen wirklich. Ich habe fast bei jeder Seite bei diesem Buch geheult. Audio Kisses heißt das. Unbedingt davon den ersten Teil lesen. Nur noch ein einziges Mal. Ich habe auch durchgeheult. Aber sorry, ich stehe auf diese Bücher. Es ist einfach so geil.
Why y'all didn't tell me how many tabs it takes to tab a book?
That was 35 tabs.
Because I just bought this. I literally just left the store. I bought this little pack. I just bought these. And I only got to page...
Not to mention those tabs were $10.
29 out of 238 pages. And I'm out of tabs.
BookTok, run me my money.
Give me love you long time. Oh my girl, get down on the floor. Back to back, drop it down real low. Such a lady, but I'm dancing like a house. You know what? I don't give a fuck, so here we go. How come every time you come around my London Bridge wanna go down?
Do you want to stop your books from looking like this? Okay, well here's a trick I learned that will stop spines from cracking. So take a brand new book, I'm using the book The Wolf Den, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with the first and last page and you're gonna press them down at the same time. Then repeat this process going one page at a time until you meet in the middle. It's a very long process, but it's kind of therapeutic. So now here's the book where the pages flip so much easier and there's no cracks on the spine.
4 years ago, I had an idea for a book. I wanted to write a fantasy novel that had everything in it that I loved. I filled notebook after notebook with ideas, planning how to make this happen. I wrote a pretty terrible first draft, which will never see the light of day. And then I wrote a slightly better draft, which I got edited, and I tried not to cry when I saw all the red lines. It took me 4 years to come up with a manuscript that I was happy with. And I found a cover, which I thought was perfect. And I finally got to format my book, and it was starting to take shape. And then I held it in my hands the first time, and I realized that the 4 years of waiting were worth it.
My problem is that I don't want to start a book. I just already want to be like 40% of the way in.
Take it. I'll give you 19 completed chapters. Literally all you have to do, finish these last 2.
Okay, so my name is Jacob. I'm sure you guys all know who Callie's reading is. I'm her man. I'm joining BookTok, and this is the only book I've read since high school, and there's a lot of sex in it. And I've heard that it's pretty tame, so I'm scared. Also, I guess Colleen Hoover is like hated now, so that's great. Now I have to read something else. Also, just real quick, having a book girlfriend is crazy, and not a lot of people ask me how I'm doing. Also, I'm like her 10th boyfriend because she's got all those boyfriends in the smut books. Also, now that Callie got her signed version of Credence, she's finally going to let me touch her original version of Credence, which she was like protecting for some reason. I don't know why, but she wouldn't let me near it. So now I'm finally allowed to touch it and read it because she has a new fancy one. Hey! So anyways, I think I'm going to read Credence next. Comment if I should read anything else. I heard Fourth Wing is good, so maybe I'll do that, but let me know.
Aujourd'hui, je reviens avec cette petite pile de livres pour vous montrer les livres hype du BookTok que j'ai lus et que je valide. Donc c'est les chouchous du BookTok, des livres que le BookTok ont adoré et que moi je comprends la hype et je valide et je vous recommande de les lire tout simplement. Je préviens d'avance, il n'y aura pas des basiques comme Captive ou... j'ai pas d'autres exemples. Mais parce que j'ai pas lu ces livres-là, tout simplement. D'ailleurs je l'ai Captive, je l'ai pas encore lu, j'ai honte, mais il me tente pas trop j'avoue. Voilà, c'est dit. Donc le premier c'est Love Crescendo de Tilly Cole. Il a eu sa hype, un peu comme 1000 baisers pour un garçon, moins que 1000 baisers pour un garçon, mais il a eu sa hype, donc je le montre. J'ai apprécié, j'ai bien aimé, je le valide. C'était pas un coup de cœur, mais franchement il fait bien pleurer, il est bien triste. La romance elle est mignonne, franchement on valide. Au début le mec il est aigri, après il devient trop mignon. La fille elle est trop touchante, trop mimes, je valide. Ensuite, comment parler de livres hype du BookTok sans parler de Colleen Hoover? C'est pas possible. Donc, November 9 de Colleen Hoover, je valide. Franchement, j'ai adoré. Ça a été un coup de cœur, j'ai beaucoup aimé. L'histoire, elle est hyper originale. Franchement, ça change. Ils se voient une fois par an, tous les 9 novembre. Il se passe des choses incroyables. Voilà, on aime, plot twist. Franchement, il est trop bien. Donc, je valide. Je finis avec Colleen Hoover, j'en ai encore 2. Vous inquiétez pas, après, on passe à autre chose. Verity de Colleen Hoover. Ça là, mais c'est pas que je vous le recommande, c'est que je vous oblige à le lire parce qu'il est incroyable. pas à mettre entre les mains de tout le monde parce qu'il y a des scènes un peu étranges, j'avoue. Mais il est trop bien, trop original. L'histoire, elle m'a pris du début à la fin. J'ai adoré les plot twists, tout est incroyable dans ce livre. Il est hyper bien, franchement, mais il devrait même être encore plus hypé parce qu'il est trop bien, il est trop bien. Celui-là, je vous en parle 2 minutes, après j'arrête, promis. Jamais plus, de Colleen Hoover. Moi, je comprends la hype qu'il y a eu sur ce livre. Moi, j'ai adoré personnellement. Je vous le conseille, il est trop bien. Franchement, moi, j'ai trop aimé. Donc, je pense que tout le monde l'a lu. Peut-être encore quelques personnes l'ont pas lu, mais si c'est pas le cas, allez-y. Allez-y, il est trop bien. Je tiens quand même à dire que j'ai lu d'autres livres hypés du BookTok, mais je les ai pas trop aimés, je les valide pas, donc c'est pour ça que je vous les montre pas dans cette vidéo. Mais il y en a d'autres, Lui, c'est le chouchou du BookTok, comment ne pas parler de The Love Hypothesis. Franchement, c'est pas que je le valide, c'est que je le survalide. Il est trop bien, je comprends la hype qu'il y a eu autour. D'ailleurs, j'ai trop hâte de lire Love on the Brain, que j'espère va être au même niveau, parce que lui, j'ai adoré, franchement, j'ai adoré, j'ai pas trop dosé, j'ai trop aimé ce livre, il est génial, l'histoire elle est hyper cool, on a du fake dating, on a tout, il est trop bien. Par contre, la romance, elle prend un peu du temps à s'installer, mais on aime, franchement on aime. L'As de cœur, je sais qu'il est pas hype en ce moment, mais qu'il a eu sa hype, je confirme, je valide, il était trop bien. J'ai trop aimé, poker, tension entre les deux personnages, la scène de la peinture, est-ce qu'on en parle? On n'en parle pas parce qu'elle est incroyable, franchement, j'ai trop aimé. Pour finir, Le Soleil de minuit, partie 1. Surtout la partie 1, je valide, je recommande. Il est génial, lisez-le. Lisez.
I've read 140 books so far this year and only 11 have been 5-star reads. So I thought I would show you guys them. And for me, a 5-star is basically just any book that gives me that specific, like, giddy feeling. And that's how I base my 5 stars. Starting out, we have none other than The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is like my romance Bible. This is like the blueprint to a perfect romance for me. This is a 6-star book for me. I love Ryan Shea that much, and I have this so annotated. Literally the best book. Pick it up if you haven't read it. Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the 3rd book in the series, and this was the one where I finally felt like that found family feeling that everybody talks about and raves about, and I fell in love, and I really am so excited to continue on. I still have to read Kiss the Sky. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This is a psychological thriller. This had me up all night reading. Read it in one sitting. The plot twist was crazy, and I loved everything about this book. Really recommend if you're looking for like a fast-paced, crazy plot twist. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent was my like entry into fantasy. I fell in love with this book. I love vampires. I'm just a vampire girly. And everything about this book was perfect. Also, being like new to fantasy, I felt like I could really follow along and like understand the world building because it didn't feel too complex for me. So I really recommend this. Elsie Silver is one of my all-time favorite authors, and I finally read the Chestnut Springs series, starting off with Flawless. I loved everything about this book. I actually started it in 2022 and DNF'd and then picked it back up this year and literally was so mad at myself for doing that. But I love Rhett, just chef's kiss. I love The Small Town. I love Cowboys. Ye freaking haw. And then going off that, Reckless by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book in the companion series. And this follows Theo and Winter. Again, the trope. She did it so well. So well. Also, sorry about the lighting. It's about to storm. And then I finally read ACOTAR series this year. ACOTAR was only like a 4 or 4.5 star book for me, but these were all 5 stars because I am so invested in this series. I love these characters. Reese has my freaking heart. I love him. But I will say that A Court of Silver Flames, Nesta, like, this book made me love Nesta, and this is a 6-star book for me. And lastly, the book that I don't own a physical copy of is No Exit by Taylor Adams. I read that back in January. It's like a thriller based in the winter at a rest stop. It's really good. I don't want to say too much because I know a lot of people like to go in blind, but I really recommend that book. And those are all my 5-star reads. Let me know if you've read any of these or your thoughts. Let me know some books I should check out.
Your body light speaks to me.